Hey, it's Mike, and I'm back in the second video of a series about contracts in television news industry. So the first one was on your employment contract. That video has been watched for more than 20 hours by hundreds of young journalists. So I encourage you to subscribe to the YouTube channel, look for that video, and it's lengthy. It will take you through an entire contract and what you should be negotiating and why it's important to you. So, but today we're going to talk about talent agent contracts. So these appear much simpler than an employment contract, but you can get in much more trouble with one of these talent agent contracts. And I'm going to go through one right now, one of the nationals, and we'll talk about things that you need to look out for. So here we go, okay? The first part talks about the engagement of services usually, and it describes what the industry parameters are. In this particular agreement that I'm looking at, it has television, cable, radio, movie, internet, online, mobile, video, lecture, literary fields. So the scope of media industry in this contract includes literary fields. You want to write a book, you want to host a podcast, you want to star in a movie, it's going to be part of this agreement and you are going to pay fees based upon that. So be very careful about what that definition is. Exclude things that are going to come into your scope maybe in the next near term, 3-4 years. So if you want to write a book, delete literary fields out of these contracts. So the representation and the compensation is very important. And there's a couple pieces here, and let's distinguish between the two of them. One is initial term. Well, an agent's going to find you a job, and you are going to pay, in this particular case, 8.5%, whatever it is, to find that job. And you're going to have a window, a grace period of 4 or 6 months, so that if the agent doesn't find you the role in that 4 or 6 months, you don't have to pay them the 8%, and you can get out of this agreement. But if the agent presents you with an opportunity that you turn down, that clock keeps running. So it's going to have to be another 4 or 6 months. So that's super important. You need to know that. 2, you are going to pay for renewals, and you are going to pay if you renew where you are right now. So agent didn't find you a job, you just renew at the station you're at now, you're going to pay that agent a renewal percentage. Those are usually less, so like 3, 4, 5%. But if you are going to your native market, you need to think hard about this renewal clause, because let's just say the agent finds you a job, you pay 8%, and then over the course of 2-3 years, you're paying your agent 15 grand. Well, what if you stay in that market for the next 20 years and you keep auto renewing? You'll end up paying that agent $50,000 or $60,000 over the life of your career. Be careful about renewals and what those charges are, okay? And also be very careful about the terminations. So your contract may not align with your employment contract. So your agent contract may have a 6 or 9 month offset from your employment contract. If you want to get out of this contract and you're not watching the terms, you can be hooked to sign another renewal fee with the agent because it auto renews. Be very careful about the language, about 6 months prior, about 4 months prior. Understand the term of your agent contract, and it's not the same term as your employment contract. Computation of your earnings, it's going to be your gross. So whatever bonuses, you're going to pay your agent on your bonus. You're going to pay your agents on your renewals. You're going to pay your agent on all the computation of your earnings, and it's gross. So that gross number, if you have to pay your agent 8%, you have to make 10 to pay them 8, because this is before taxes, right? Super important, and especially when you get into those renewal periods. It's not 5%, it's going to be 6 or 7 by the time you have to pay taxes. Governing law, if the agreement's written in California, you're going to have arbitration and it's going to be governed by California law. And finally, assignability. This is the one thing that kind of rubs me the wrong way with agent contracts. They have the right to assign and sell either in whole or part of this agreement. So if you have a special relationship with your agent, which most people do, and your agent decides to leave the industry and the business, your contract is going to be assigned to the next man up at that agency, and you're not going to have any control over that. Your contract is going to be assigned. What I like here is to see language upon mutual consent, your contract can be signed. So if you sign an agreement with Talent Boulevard, if you ask us to represent you, for example, we have that mutual consent language in the assignability. So if you don't want to stay when Talent Boulevard is sold someday, or if I am representing you and I go on to something else, you can take this agreement and it'll be null and void unless you want to consent to it. So those are some super important pieces about talent agent contracts. I hope you found this helpful. I'd love to share more information and get into specifics with you as you need to. Have a great day, and don't sign a contract unless you know what you're signing. Take care. Bye.